Bit of a quick hitter NBA 2K rating recap. We're going to be going over the games for November 16th, 2025, Sunday night. Recapping some games. The Boston Celtics moved to 7-7, taking down the LA Clippers 121 to 118. Jaylen Brown, 33 points, 13 rebounds, 14 to 33 from the field, though. But the efficiency of both Peyton Pritchard and Derek White helped save the day for them. Pritchard, 30 points, 10 of 16 from the field, 8 for 13 on threes. And then Derek White, 22 points, 9 assists, 7 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. They were combined 12 of 21 from 3. Those guys were struggling with their shot earlier in the year, but it looks like they have been coming around over the last week or two. Anthony Simons, not quite the same story. He had 0 points in this one, over 3 from the field in only 12 minutes. Going over to the LA Clippers side, they dropped to 4-9 on the year. James Harden has been doing everything that he possibly can to keep this team afloat, but they are a little strapped for scoring without Kawhi Leonard and Bradley Beal. James Harden, 37 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists in this one. Ivica Zubac has been the primary second option for the team, 16 points and 12 rebounds. John Collins, he had 17 points, only 2 rebounds in 30 minutes. He was allegedly added to the starting lineup to help with the rebounding. That's not going particularly well. Got to get his rating down, along with a host of other Clippers. Derek Jones Jr., only 11 minutes in this one, which I believe means he left due to injury. I didn't exactly see what it was. But Bogdan Bogdanovic, he started the third quarter and finished with 11 points in 35 minutes. And then Kobe Sanders, once again, Chris Paul was a DNP, coach's decision. Kobe Sanders, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 23 minutes. He's essentially the backup point guard on this roster right now. Ty Lue said that he was going to get more minutes for the young guys. He's been the one who has gotten the most. He's probably going to end up on a standard contract once some of these veterans get traded away at the deadline or before the deadline, the way things are going. Might be time for a fire sale in LA because not a ton is going well with the division, and that includes even Kawhi Leonard, probably going to be on the move this year. James Harden has been pretty good this year. He could end up on another team as well. This could be a really crazy trade deadline with a lot of these guys possibly joining contenders and maybe uprooting. Right now, it looks like the OKC Thunder are like the overwhelming favorites, but we'll see if if a star joins another team and somebody comes from the woodwork, similar to what happened with the Golden State Warriors when they got Jimmy Butler. Going over to the Spurs, they move up to 9-4 on the season, 123 to 110 over the Sacramento Kings, despite the absence of Victor Wembanyama. Did not play in this one due to calf tightness. Not that the Kings had any shot of winning this game at all. De'Aaron Fox had his revenge game, 28 points, 11 assists against his former team. I did swap his position back to point guard, as that's back-to-back games with double-digit assists. Swapping Castle over to the 2. Castle, for what it's worth, only 16 minutes in this one. So, again, another possible injury. I didn't get a chance to go over some of the details of why the various players had like low minute totals. There were a few injuries tonight, I presume. That might have been one of them. They also might have just decided to go with more shooting in like Julian Champagny. But Harrison Barnes also had a little bit of a revenge game against his former team with 20 points. Luke Cornett got the start with Wemby sidelined, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 5 of 5 from the field, 3 blocks. He's the OG Ryan Kalkbrenner. Actually, it was due to injury. Julian Champagny did start the third quarter, so we'll see if I can get some prognosis on Castle, as they are a little shorthanded in the backcourt without him. They just got Fox back, but they are still without Dylan Harper. The Kings, on the other hand, they dropped to 3-11 on the season. Russell Westbrook, newly minted starter, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Dennis Schroeder playing a lot better off the bench over the last 22 points, 5 assists in this one. And DeMar DeRozan knocked himself out of a slump. He got the start at the 4 in this one with Precious Achiuwa moving to the bench. Achiuwa only played 4.5 minutes. DeRozan, 27 points on 12 of 15 from the field, so major bounce back game from him on the offensive side. Domantas Sabonis was solid-ish, I guess. 17 points, 13 rebounds. He's been limited by his hip injury all year. Zach LaVine was quiet, 8 points, 24 minutes. He's not fully healthy either. Keon Ellis, he got the start at the 2 with LaVine at the 3 and DeRozan at the 4. He had 2 points in 15 minutes. So yeah, not great. Speaking of not great, let's go over to the Brooklyn Nets, who got their second win of the year. They're now 2-11, a half game behind those Sacramento Kings in the lottery standings. They beat the Wizards. Also, both teams came in 1-11. It was a movable object against a stoppable force. 129 to 106, the Nets won this one. Michael Porter Jr., 34 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, was the best player in this game. He's been playing a lot better ever since Cam Thomas went down. Nick Claxton, 17, 8, and 7. And then Tyrese Martin had a solid game off the bench with 20 points on, I believe, 8 of 12 from the field. Nets shot 53% from the field overall, 42% from 3, and took 35 free throws. So the Washington Wizards, pretty bad defensive team. Keyshawn George led the way in this one for them, essentially in a duel with MPJ. 29 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, but didn't get a lot of help in this one. CJ McCollum, 17 points. Chris Middleton, 14. Those were the only other Wizards in double figures. Alex Sarr, 9 points, 4 of 12 from the field. He fouled out in 23 minutes, his worst game of the season so far. Bilal Coulibaly made his return to the lineup, but struggled, only at 6 points in 28 minutes, and that meant Trey Johnson went back to the bench. He had 6 points in 17 minutes. Wizards held a players-only meeting after the game, as getting blown out by a 1-11 team, not a great sign. And they dropped to 1-12 on the season. I believe now tied with the Pacers for worst record in the NBA. Going over to the Houston Rockets. They move up to 9-3 on the season, 117 to 113 in overtime over the Orlando Magic. Alperen Şengün, 30 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, was 11 of 31 from the field though, so less than a point per shot. 8 of 10 from the free throw line, played 45 minutes. KD, a lot more efficient, 35 points at 45 minutes for him. Reed Shepherd added 16 off the bench. He's been really solid the last couple weeks. And then Tari Eason's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with an oblique strain. So Aaron Holiday has stepped into the rotation over the last 2 games. He had 10 points in 16 minutes in this one, so probably should get his rating up. Let me see if I can actually do that just with the intangibles thing. Yeah, let's max that out so he's in the rotation. And we'll revisit the rest of his ratings at a later date. Magic, on the other hand, they dropped to 7-7. They've been playing a lot better of late, going to overtime against the Houston Rockets. You know, pretty nice little moral victory. They are without Paulo Banchero. So Franz led the way for them, 29 points. Desmond Bane's been playing a lot better. He had 26. And then there was no Jalen Suggs in this one, so Anthony Black got the start at point guard. He had 18 points, his second highest output of the season. Going over to the Golden State Warriors, they move up to 9-6 on the season. 124 to 106 over the Nolans Pelicans. Curry had an off night, 9 points on 2 of 11 shooting. I guess he, after averaging 47.5 against the Spurs over the last 2 games, you know, he was kind of due for an erratic game. But Moses Moody came in clutch and had a career high 32 points. I need to get his rating up. I'm going to work on the ratings for all of the Warriors. They needed a little bit of surgery. Jimmy Butler, 18 points, 10 assists. The Warriors have gone away from the Quentin Post lineups. Ever since Kuminga went down, they've essentially been starting Draymond at the 5, Jimmy at the 4, Will Richard at the 3, and then Moody at the 2. So I adjusted all of those positions, adjusted Gary Payton. It's essentially Jimmy's backup, so wherever Jimmy's position is, Payton's going to follow. Hield has been the backup for Moody. Pods has been the backup for Curry. Richard's been starting while Kuminga's out. And yeah, Horford and Post essentially are the backups for Draymond. Draymond does play a little bit of 4 next to one of those two, depending on which one's in. And then Jimmy will play a little bit of 3. So there's no like actual backup behind Richard right now, at least while Kuminga's out. So that's essentially how the lineups are broken down for them. Going over to the Pels, they dropped to 2-11. First game in the post Willie Green era with James Borrego, and he made an immediate lineup change, inserting Derek Queen into the starting lineup. And he responded with 9 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, had 2 blocks in 25 minutes, was 2 for 4 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Struggled a little bit, being matched up with Draymond. Has a similar build to Draymond, so it's probably a good matchup for, Draymond, one of the best defensive players ever, highly intelligent. So Queen probably learned a lot in this matchup, but I did boost his overall rating up a point to a 78, essentially messing with adjusting the intangibles based on my like starter scale. So role players are 70s, starters are 80s. So just adjusting that boosted his overall up a point. And then notable is Kevon Looney, the previously was the starter, was a DNP coach's decision against his former team, no less. They probably they were going to be able to do well against him, more so them doing well or him doing well against them. So it's probably smart to keep him out of this one. But he's been awful this year. And his removal from the starting lineup meant that I could tank his intangibles. So I dropped him essentially 3 points in overall from a 76 to a 73 just off of the intangibles gimmick. Yves Misi had 8 points in 25 minutes. He's pretty firmly the second string center, it seems to appear, with Looney just now operating as veteran mentor. Not sure what that means for DeAndre Jordan, because how many veteran mentors do you need at the 5? Trey Murphy, he had 20 points in this one. He's really the only thing resembling a scorer right now on this team. Still without Jordan Poole and Zion Williamson. And, I guess technically Jeremiah Fears is a scorer. He had 17 points in this one, but only 1 assist in 25 minutes. That might be part of why they're struggling to score a little bit, is he needs to develop his point guard skills and passing a little bit more. But Jose Alvarado had tied his season high with 18 points off the bench in this one to, again, provide a little bit of stability in offense, but not enough against the Golden State Warriors, who are just a much better team. Going over the Dallas Mavericks, they got their first win of the post-Nico era, 138 to 133 in overtime against the Portland Trailblazers. Solid win for them. PJ Washington returned from injury, had 21 points in this one. Cooper Flagg added 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Najee Marshall was the backup for both of those guys, had 9 points, 9 rebounds. Daniel Gafford had a season high, 20 points, 31 rebounds. I assume he's off his minutes limit, but given he actually aggravated his ankle a little bit during the overtime, so given the minutes he played, it's a back-to-back, probably questionable for the Monday night game. We'll see. Maybe that means Derek Lively enters the starting lineup, but he was pretty bad in this one. 2 points, fouled out in 12 minutes coming off the bench. So let's actually, I'm going to adjust their overalls. Let's actually just drop Lively down to 70. Well, actually, I'm going to drop him a little more. So I'm just going to, on the fly, boost Gafford up to starter level just by making him an 80. And then we're actually going to boost or tank Lively's rating all the way down to 25, make him a 78 overall. Based on how things have gone in Lively's first 2 games coming back from injury, this seems kind of appropriate. We'll reassess once some guys come back from injury. AD is going to be reevaluated in 7 to 10 days. But rounding out the rest of the performances, Brandon Williams had a bounce-back game, 15 points. Max Christie had 14 points as well in the starting lineup. D'Lo and Klay Thompson have played a lot better since being demoted to the bench. Russell had 12 points, 7 assists in this one. He's two games in a row that were pretty solid. So it looks like the bench role is doing him. I wouldn't say wonders, but it's righted the ship a little bit. And then Klay Thompson, 19 points for him, 5 of 11 from 3. Probably his best game of the season. He's definitely righted the ship since he hit the bench. So we'll see. I think it would be wise to keep both of those guys in their current roles. but we'll see what Jason Kidd decides to do. And then the Portland Trailblazers, they dropped to 6-7. They've been slumping a little bit, 2-5 in their last 7. No Drew Holiday in this one, so no point guard. I didn't get a chance to see who was the technical point guard in this game, either Shaden Sharp or Denny Avdia. But essentially, Jeremy Grant entered the starting lineup for Holiday. He had 26 points. Sharp had 36 points, 6 assists. He's had 30-plus points in 3 of his last 4 games, so his rating definitely should be going up. Denny Avdia has been solid all year. He had 29 points, 7 assists. So yeah, one of those two guys was the point guard. We'll figure it out later. Donovan Clingan, 16 points, 11 rebounds. Only his second double-double of the season. Usually points have been a little bit of an issue for him. Tamani Kamara also double-doubled in this one with 11 points and 10 rebounds. Only 15 points from the bench in this one, despite this being an overtime game. So yeah, given all the injuries that Portland's been dealing with, yeah, they don't really have much in the way of bench talent. That's definitely been an issue for them over the last 2 weeks or so. Going over to the Atlanta Hawks, they've got depth. They moved up to 9-5 on the year, 124 to 122, taking out the Phoenix Suns. They moved to 7-2 without Trae Young, 8-2 by technicalities since he only played 7 minutes in one of those games. Kristaps Porzingis, he missed his second consecutive game. So Onyeka Okongwu, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 3 for 9 from 3, following up on his 8 3-pointer performance in the last one. So he's playing really well right now. Jalen Johnson, same story. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He's been playing at an all-star level all year. Dyson Daniels, future point guard of the Atlanta Hawks once they realize that Trae Young is probably going to be playing for another team at the deadline. A lot of stars are going to move around, I think. He had 11 points and 12 assists. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has really fit well as the starting 2 guard on this team. 26 points for him. And then Zachary Risachet, he had 15 points but left the game in the 4th quarter. Had a scary fall on a dunk, landed hard on his hip/back. Hopefully he doesn't have to miss any time with that. Hopefully, best case though, he'll probably miss the next one. Maybe he'll be out for like a game or 2. Hopefully it's nothing serious though. As that would suck if they lost him. Suns, no Grayson Allen in this one, so Ryan Dunn got the start with Dylan Brooks playing the 2. Brooks responded with 34 points on 14 of 25 from the field. He's been playing a much larger offensive role this season, so I got to get his rating up, probably like 84-ish, maybe 85. Devin Booker, he had 27 points. Not the most efficient game, though, 10 of 23. But lots of backcourt scoring in this one. Aside from Booker and Brooks, Cullen Gillespie added 15 points off the bench, and Jordan Goodwin as well had 14. Despite the Hawks playing Alexander Walker and Dyson Daniels are really good. That's a really good defensive backcourt. So Suns were able to put some points on the board from their guard position. And then let's finish off with the Utah Jazz, who... this was the game of the night. They took down the Bulls in double overtime. Jazz move up to 5-8. They beat the Bulls 150 to 147. Lauri Markkanen had 47 points against his former team. He had 40 in the last one. He's been playing a lot better over the really this whole season. His season high was 51, but 2 40-point games this week. He'll be up for Player of the Week honors. Keontae George, 33 points. He had the game-winning 3 with 0.8 left in double overtime. Ace Bailey, despite this being a double OT game, only played 10 minutes because he fouled out in that short period of time. So therefore, Isaiah Collier got a lot of run with George at the 2, essentially. Collier, 16 points, 9 assists, played 37 minutes. Worth noting that Walter Clayton Jr. has been out of the rotation the last 2 games. Basically, Collier's completely absorbed his rotation role. And then going over to the Bulls to finish things off, some good news for them is Josh Giddey returned from a 2-game absence, and he had 26 points, 13 rebounds, 13 assists, a triple-double in this one, played 42 minutes. But Coby White made his season debut off the bench. He had 27 points, 8 assists. 5 of 14 from the field, but he was 14 of 14 from the free throw line. Was supposed to be on a 24-minute limit, which is part of why he came off the bench. But he ended up playing 30 minutes due to the double overtime. So he's probably going to miss tomorrow's game as a precaution. We'll see if there's any type of announcement. But worth noting that Trey Jones also missed this game due to an ankle injury. So Kevin Huerter started at the 2 with Io. Io DeSunmo essentially was the backup for Giddey at the 1 rather than at the 2, with like Huerter at the 2, and then Coby White was the backup 2 behind him. So I anticipate that once everybody's like fully healthy, the positions are going to shake out how I have them now. With like Trey Jones has started every game he's played this year, but I would imagine, keeping the seat warm for Coby White. So that's why I haven't changed Giddey's position to like the 2 guard or anything. I anticipate Jones is going to back up Giddey. DeSumo is going to back up White, and then Herter's been backing up Okoro for the most part. The only thing that might throw a wrinkle in that is it's possible that they start Jones, Giddey, and White, at which point I would then put Giddey at the 3 and then swap Herter over to the 2. I think. Right? Because I can't, my brain hurts. And then I have to switch Io DeSumo to the 1 in order for that to make sense. Yeah, the Bulls have kind of a weird perimeter dynamic. But just to finish off on them, Io had a good game in this one, 18 points. If Coby White isn't able to go in the next one. Giddey also played 42 minutes coming back from his injury, so he might be questionable also for the following game. So look for Io DeSumo to possibly have a really big performance tomorrow. But Matas Buzelis added 18 points, and Vucevic, he had 21 points, 12 rebounds, but he'd been kind of slumping a little bit of late, so I did drop his rating by a point. Bulls overall have lost 5 straight, and they've lost 6 of their last 7 after starting off the year 5-0. They dropped to 8-6, so they're still hanging in there. They're looking like a lower end playoff team though, in that 6 to 8 seed range. Well, maybe possibly play in even lower. The East is a lot more competitive than than a lot of people thought that it was going to be, I think, but they're definitely not looking like a top 4 seed or anything that maybe some people got ahead of their skates, with that 5-0 start. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Not a ton of rating content that I wanted to go over in this video. Instead, Player of the Week is going to be announced tomorrow for the East and West. I typically, whoever gets announced for that, I usually do a deep dive on their ratings, and then my off days from work are Monday and Tuesday, so I'm going to dive in pretty heavy on a lot of ratings, do some catch up with all of the teams. There's a lot of teams that I still haven't really gotten a chance to touch, like Portland, for example, but I also want to clean up Detroit, just throwing some names out there. Thanks guys for watching my content this year. We're going 3 weeks strong, heading into week 4 of the NBA season. It's been fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow.